You're watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, learn more about the Quad City Rollers, our area's all-female roller derby team. Details on the sport, the strategy, and how you can join the fun, really with no experience required.
Plus, celebrating Armed Forces Day on the Rock Island Arsenal. We'll tell you about an opportunity this weekend to learn more about our local military history, all while having fun.
And later, from humble beginnings more than 30 years ago, a popular small-town event is now drawing crowds by the thousands. We're getting a preview of the upcoming Aledo Rhubarb Festival and Cook-Off. It is Wednesday, May 14th. Thank you so much for joining us for Quad Cities Live. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. Well, the need for diapers, it's a growing crisis not only here at home but nationwide, and there's some pretty startling statistics.
Yes, according to numbers from the National Diaper Bank Network, nearly half of all U.S. families with young children struggle to afford enough diapers. But one local nonprofit is stepping up in a big way.
Yes, we're talking about Heine Heroes, and they are collecting donations for the world's largest diaper drive. Carrie Faw is the co-executive director of Heine Heroes, which is based right here in the Quad Cities. Carrie, welcome back to the show. You've been featured in a few news stories as well for your organization. Obviously very important here in the Quad Cities because the need for diapers is always here. So what made you, or I guess led you to create this organization?
Well, we have 4 children,
yes,
and the youngest 2 are twins. They were about 15 months, and we were looking at how much we were spending on diapers just every month.
Yeah.
So it's $100 a month per child. So we were spending $200 a month per child. Thank goodness they potty trained really early. So.
Oh, lucky.
But we started wondering, what do people do if you can't afford diapers?
Right.
What's the options for you?
Right.
Rather than just leave your child in a diaper. And there weren't any. There was nothing, no government safety nets.
Right.
WIC doesn't cover diapers. SNAP, you can't buy diapers with those funds. And so we did find in Galesburg, Illinois, Loving Bottoms Diaper Bank, and she was doing something about it. She was giving diapers to families that needed them, but she did not stretch. She didn't reach all the way to the Quad Cities.
Sure.
And so we were like, what can we do?
Yeah.
And so Heine Heroes was born.
You bridge the gap.
I love the name, too.
Yeah, it's great.
So talk a little bit of what you've seen over the last several years, really firsthand. I mean, we talked a little bit about the need nationwide and how great it is. What are you seeing here locally, and is it similar?
Yes, locally, the need has increased dramatically just in the past 2 to 3 years. Even since COVID, we're way up. We have a lot of refugees, especially on the Illinois side. There's a ton of need there. Just families are trying to make their dollar stretch further.
Definitely.
And it's getting more and more difficult.
Well, and truly, we are hearing that. I mean, even with food insecurity, when we talk with the Riverbend Food Bank and all of that, I think it's just across the board. When you see the need is growing in one aspect, it's probably like that everywhere.
Yeah, most definitely. So you're always looking for donations, but really it's this month that you're ramping up the need for those donations because you're participating in the world's largest diaper drive, and it extends throughout the whole month of May. So what's the goal here?
The goal across the country is to collect more than 2 million diapers.
2 million, wow.
This month. But in the Quad Cities, we're hoping for 40,000. We did like 37,000 last year. So we just want to bump it up a little. But I think we can do that. That's not a problem.
That's where we come in, right?
Yes, exactly. You gotta spread the word.
We're here to help with that.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the different ways that people here in the Quad Cities, whether they're watching it or maybe they see it later on social media, how can they get involved?
Yes, you can go to our website. It's HeineHeroes.com, H-I-N-E-Y is how you spell Heine.
Yes.
Then you can also go to our Facebook page, which you can link to our website from there. There's also on both of those locations on the internet, you can find a list of businesses and organizations that are collecting diapers this month for the world's largest diaper drive specifically.
Okay, so those would be like drop-off locations for people to be able to
and they would love to see you. They'd be very excited if you came and donated diapers.
Yeah, that makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, and you can also give funds.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, I was just going to ask. So if we don't have, if we can't do the diapers, can't get out to the store, we can donate money to.
Yes, and we also have our Amazon and Walmart wish lists are on our Facebook page, so you can
Wonderful.
do it from the luxury of your couch.
And in your experience too, is there like sizes that are more needed than others?
yes.
I know when we do like donation drives here at the station, even when it's like Toys for Tots, people really like to buy for like the babies and the little kids. So is that something similar that you see?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We have mountains of newborns 1s and 2s, but 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, we really struggle to get enough of those.
Okay.
So even though it's not as many diapers you're going to be gifting us, they'll be much more value to us.
Okay.
All right,
makes
so
sense.
newborn to size 6 is what you're looking for.
We do accept newborn through size 6, but 3 through 6s would be.
All right, so let's hone in on the
Yes.
3
Yeah.
through 6, and let's get thousands of those donated. So, you know, we're talking 40,000 diapers. That's the goal.
Yes, yes.
So where do all of these go? Obviously, you know, you're part of a nationwide effort, but do these stay right here locally?
Yes, all the diapers that we collect stay right here in the Quad Cities.
Oh, wow.
We kind of run like a food bank. We collect all the diapers, we repackage them in these bundles, and then we distribute them to our partner agencies, and they get them into the hands of the families they're already serving. So like the Salvation Army, different 0 to 3 programs, community health care, places like that.
Okay, and that was actually going to be my next question. So for families who are struggling right now, obviously we're collecting diapers all this month for the long haul, but for people that are watching and going, I didn't know this existed, I really do need the help. So they can, how do they learn more about those partner
they can go to our
organizations?
website, again, that's tinyheroes.com, or they can go to Facebook. You can message me on Facebook and I will point you in the right direction.
Wow.
Yep, no problem.
Amazing.
Yeah, you know, I caught up with you a few years ago, you know, a little bit after you started this organization, and we were just talking before the show how much growth there's been. So there's been a positive response from the community in these donation efforts.
For sure, yes. I think it's an easy cause to get behind. We just need people to hear about it, that diapers are something that families struggle with. I think a lot of people just don't even realize.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially, I mean, there is assistance out there with different things, especially with families with young children. But this, as you mentioned, you know, right when we started, this just isn't one of them.
Right.
And there's a gap there.
Yes.
Okay, so talking a little bit more just about Heine Heroes as an organization, do you guys have anything else on the horizon that you're working toward or coming up over the next several months?
Yes, we just posted Birdies for Bottoms. We're doing a family-friendly fundraising event at the Forge at Palmer Hills. It's their new mini golf course.
Yes.
So we'd love for families to come on out and raise funds for Heine Heroes.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, great.
That's awesome.
Well, the world's largest diaper drive now through May 31st. So you can donate anytime. All the information, again, you can find online, as Carrie mentioned. And it goes on all month, and you'd be really doing everybody a great service. That is HeineHeroes.com, that website right there at the bottom of your screen. Carrie, thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes,
Let's get 40,000. Let's do it, Quad Cities.
Yes.
Easy.
Up next, the Quad City Rollers. They are climbing the ranks, hitting hard, and welcoming newcomers to the track. Learn more about a recruitment event happening this weekend.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
If you've ever wanted to lace up a pair of skates and throw a shoulder into something fun, fast, and a little fierce, this is for you. The Quad City Rollers are gearing up for an action-packed weekend with a big game on Saturday and a recruitment event on Sunday. Tara Malner is the Quad City Rollers assistant coach, and Louie Allers is the team's head coach. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Yes, lots to talk about. A really big weekend for you guys, as we mentioned. So, Tara, we'll start with you. Just with the basics for people that are watching right now, what exactly is roller derby? What is the sport? Can you explain it for us?
So it's a competitive sport where we put on roller skates and full safety gear, and basically it's the combination of a race and bumper cars, but you battle each other and the jammers get through, and every time they lap somebody they get a point. So it's a race to the finish.
I see. And is every teammate out on the rink or on the track or whatever you call it the entire time, just trying to be first?
There are lines that trade in and out in between jams. So we have 2-minute jams, or unless they're called off sooner than that. So there are rounds of gameplay.
It's got a reputation, Louie, for derby being very fast paced. It can be pretty tough at times. You know, kind of got that reputation that if you're going to be out there, you got to be tough and willing to get in there. What is something that you wish more people knew about the sport?
So it's a real competitive sport. It still kind of has like an old stigma of like what you used to see on TV a long time ago. Since then, it's changed a lot. It's very competitive. Top athletes play it. A lot of strategy, a lot of teamwork and stuff involved, so it's not what you used to see on the TV a long time ago.
It's not, okay. Tara, what are some of the things that you wish people knew about it? As we're watching your hype video right now, which is super cool, and I'm assuming this is just kind of the ways that you guys practice and prepare for competitions.
Yeah, so practices are intense. We work really hard at practice. I focus on the newbies and the newbie boot camps and training new skaters. I wish people would know that anybody can get into this sport. We can get you there. I take people who have never skated in their life, and we get them ready. If they want to play competitively, or if they want to referee, or whatever they want to do, they can be involved.
Yes, that was actually one thing I really wanted to talk to you about. With there being a recruitment event this weekend, it's an intense sport, but it's also very inclusive. So people with no experience, I mean, you hear that a lot, and they go, "Yeah, right." But truly, talk about the ways that you can, teach newcomers about how to quickly just get involved and get out there.
So our boot camp is set up so that anyone can start, and we start slow. We teach you how to fall and how to stop. That's the most two important things to know how to do. So those are the first 2 lessons. We have loaner gear. So if people want to try it out, they're not sure if they want to invest in all their, because it can add up, it can be expensive. Yeah. We do have loaner skates and loaner safety gear, so they can get in, try it out, see how much they like it, see if it's for them, that kind of thing.
Wonderful, okay. And Louis, we've mentioned you guys are holding a recruitment event on Sunday, so for women who show up, what can they expect at that event?
We'll be able to go through like what like the expectations are when we start, how to get involved, just all the little things to get going. And like we have, like I said, with loaner gear and stuff,
they can turn it all on.
They'll be able to see that stuff and like kind of get an idea what's going to happen later on this fall. So
yeah, okay. So we've got the camera right now focused on your skates, Tara. So talk about how these are different. I mean, is this something you said that people can use loaner gear? So if they want to just be trying this out for a little while, they'll be able to use that. These are yours, I'm assuming.
Those are my personal skates.
Okay.
One of my pairs.
Are there specific kinds of? Is there specific types of gear for derby?
There is. There are specific skates. They're called speed skates or quad skates. There are roller derby specific ones. Yeah, these are high-end ones. We have what are called newbie skates available for loaners, and some other ones that have been donated. So we've got a variety of sizes and styles that they can try.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Louis, is there room on the team for a lot of newcomers? I mean,
there's always room. There takes a lot of people to make this happen, not just the people that skate on the track. We have people do stuff off, refs, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of like availability for, depending on what you want to like put into it. If you want to be super competitive and join, we are always taking on new people. If you just want to come and use it for a good workout, a lot of people do it for that. We have people that don't skate very often, and they just come to hang out.
Like, could you use me? I'm a wall hugger.
Sure.
Whether I'm on roller skates or ice skates.
Sure.
So
could you
use me on the team? Okay. I might get benched a couple times. Very cool. One thing I really wanted to ask you guys about, Tara, you guys have really cool names. So that's one of the fun parts about joining the roller derby is you kind of get an alter ego.
You do, yeah.
So how do you all come up with that? Is it something you get to come up with yourself, or how does that work? What's your name?
You get to pick your name when you get your 40 hours after you graduate boot camp.
Awesome.
So mine is Electric Mayhem.
Electric Mayhem.
And,
See, that's cool. I would never come up with a really good one like that. I mean, that would be tough. I'd spend a lot of time on it. We mentioned at the beginning of the segment, Louis, you guys have a really big game, a matchup. I don't know what you call it. Bout. Okay, perfect. Coming up on Saturday. Of course, you always want fans in the stands. So tell us a little bit about this.
So it's we're playing a team from just south of Michigan. They're coming to play us. Going to be a real competitive game. It'll be our A-level skaters playing in this bout. We've been practicing really hard for the last, pretty much all this year. We've been really focused on cruising up the rankings and putting our best foot forward. It's just going to be a really good game. So.
Okay, and what should fans know about? Like, let's say I go to the bout and I want to watch, and cheer on our home team here. Are there easy ways for people to kind of understand how the game is working, or does it take a little while before you start to get it?
It takes a little bit sometimes, but you'll kind of get the gist of it. And we'll have other skaters and stuff kind of walking around helping out and stuff. And so if you see anybody in a Quad City Roller shirt and you want to get some advice on what's happening on, we'll be happy to help you out.
Okay, wonderful. I've got to ask Tara, the injuries. How extensive can they get? I mean, you guys are wearing gear for a reason,
right?
And it's safety gear. When you're joining, you're learning the proper way to do things. Like you said, you're learning the proper way to fall.
Correct.
So that's not something to be afraid of.
Well, we work to minimize it as much as possible.
Right.
We don't just teach how to skate and how to play. I teach also warm-ups and workouts and stretching to try to minimize injury and build strength, because that's the most important part. But they do sometimes happen. It does. It's a full contact sport, and injuries do happen. Yeah, well, I feel like too, as we age, especially women, like we have less opportunities to participate in things like that, and so it's really fun to see that you have created this space where super competitive gals can go out there and they can still kind of exercise those muscles, and not even physical muscles, but up here. I just think that's really neat that you guys are able to do that. And we have the whole age range. We have 18 through 50 plus. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, well, we want to give everybody the website. It is quadcityrollers.com. On the website, as you can see, you can find contact info, you can see the team schedule, you can even buy tickets to watch the rollers in action. Tara and Louie, thank you for being here and explaining everything for me. Now I know it's about. Yep. It's about. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Coming up on QCL, live music, fireworks, wrestling, food trucks, and a special anniversary ale. It's all happening this weekend on the Rock Island Arsenal. Details on the Armed Forces Day celebration next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
Armed Forces Day is more than a celebration. It's a chance for our community to come together and say thank you to the men and women who serve. And this weekend, the Rock Island Arsenal is opening its gates to the public for a two-day event packed with family-friendly fun, fitness, and of course, patriotic pride. Here to tell us all about it are Victoria Klein and Garrison Commander Colonel Joe Parker. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks for being here. I can't believe it's that time again. The big event is happening this weekend, and you guys have so much going on, which we'll get to. But first, Colonel, let's talk a little bit about Armed Forces Day. Tell everybody what it is and really why it's so important that you guys celebrate on the Arsenal.
Yeah, so Armed Forces Day, started back in the late 40s, 1950s as a celebration of those who are still serving, and so just on the Arsenal, obviously we tend to trend a little bit Army heavy because it's a lot of Army organizations there, but we have representatives from the Marine Corps, the Navy, and the Coast Guard, and so this is our opportunity to kind of open the gates to the island, let everybody come out, showcase not just what the Army has and the Arsenal has, but all of our joint partners that live and operate there. And have a good time. And so it's something we're really excited about. It's kind of our little Super Bowl each year to really get the community on and share what we're about. Yes, it's very exciting for people to be able to participate. A lot of folks that show up, they've never been on Arsenal Island before, so that in itself is very unique to them. So Victoria, again, this is open to the public. We're going to start talking about some big highlights from the weekend. Starting with, there is a Run the Rock 5K and 10K. Yes. So this event is pretty special, actually. A lot of people taking part in this.
Yeah, the 5K and 10K have been a tradition for a few years now. Okay. And with that, it's special because we give the runners a chance to run for the fallen, which is unique for us, which is wear an extra bib to carry a fallen soldier over the finish line. Yeah, that is really special, and I'm sure very emotional for a lot of people who participate in that. There's also the America's Kids Run, which I believe is on Friday. So talk a little bit about that. We can sign our kiddos up. What should we expect? Yeah, that's always a good time. The kids, it's their chance to conquer the rock. They come out, run. They get lifted up. The mascots are out there with them. A fun chicken dance. It's a really good time for the kids. Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And we're seeing some photos right now of people finishing the race, which is very cool. Something unique that you guys are offering this year are the trolley pub tours. So what can you tell me about that?
So it's going to be a lot of fun. So great partnership. It's an opportunity to get on island. You can't come to Rock Island Arsenal and not learn to love and appreciate the history of the place. And so we've combined kind of recreational pedaling with beverages of your choice.
We've seen it, right? The trolley pub all around the Quad Cities, all around town.
That's right. Well, we're bringing them on the island, and you'll get an opportunity on Friday and Saturday to ride around for about 45-50 minutes with a historian that'll give you kind of the down and dirty on some of the buildings, Quarters 1, the history of the museum, the grounds, the courses, some of the historical architecture. We're really excited. Good time to mix a little history and fun so you can learn and have a good time doing it.
That's perfect. What a way to see it. I think, you know, one of the only times that I got a chance to go on Arsenal Island was when I ran the half marathon. And like just seeing the Quad Cities from the other side.
So pretty.
It is. It's beautiful. It's an incredible place. So that is another really fun way to see it. Victoria, there is just a lot going on this weekend. You have incorporated so much into this weekend. So what are some of the other can't miss moments or activities that you guys have planned? I saw wrestling as part of the weekend.
Yes. Live wrestling from Honor Among Wrestling. We're bringing them back. Veteran-owned local wrestling company.
Okay.
Family fun all weekend, tons of bounce houses, the bungee trampoline, rock climbing wall.
Wow.
Live bands, good food. We have about 20 vendors.
Really?
Yes, there's just something for everyone. There's a car show happening.
That's right. There's a car show that's going to be happening. Oh, there's all the event highlights on the screen. So for anybody that's able to run over to the TV and check that out, you can see who's playing live music. Very, very cool. There's the wrestling. The pub tours are all happening. So you guys are also doing something cool. We talked about food and refreshments. We talked about that there's going to be a food truck, all kinds of food trucks. But there's an anniversary ale. Is it Bent River is tapping?
Yes, they did. So Bent River was able to make a 250th Army birthday anniversary ale.
Wow.
And super special. They named it the Arsenal Anniversary Ale. And we'll be there tapping that for a ceremonial keg tapping on Friday that we always do, but we're keying that in for the Army birthday. That's special and just making it one big keg tapping,
No, that is really cool. And that's kind of a reason, too, for everybody to show up on both Friday and Saturday, because you want to be a part of that, but you also want to be a part of all the festivities on Saturday. Sounds like both days are going to be really great, culminating with fireworks.
Yeah, second biggest fireworks show in the Quad Cities, so we're excited.
Really?
And we've moved it down to the Quarters 1 area, so that's on the north side of the island, on the Davenport side. So we really want folks to come on island and have some fun with us, but we're pretty sure you're going to be able to see it from across the Quad Cities.
Really?
So, but come down to Quarters 1 for the best view.
Yes, I was just going to ask you. That was one of my questions. What is the best spot to watch it? What do people need to know before they get there? Are they allowed to bring like chairs or blankets and things like that to watch fireworks?
Yeah, big picnic, big party. We jokingly call the island kind of the Hawaii of the Mississippi. We have a luau Hawaiian kind of theme with some of our food offerings. A couple folks will be wearing some Hawaiian shirts. So the intent is just really to come out, have a good time, enjoy each other's company, and just share the island with the Quad Cities.
Yes, so. And it's one of the biggest employers here in the Quad Cities, Arsenal Island. I think it's very cool when you can invite the community to come see like another side of something that oftentimes we only hear about, which is great. Colonel, I have to ask, I mean, what does it mean to you to be able to share this weekend? What does it mean to you personally, but also your team and all the folks that you work with to kind of be able to show off what they see every day with the rest of the community?
Well, since 9/11, obviously the installation had to close down, and then you had COVID and kind of shut down even more. And so this year, through the years and years of hard work by a number of folks, we've been able to reopen the golf course a couple of weeks ago. We've got a number of projects that we'll announce, in the next year or so that are going to bring even more opportunities to the island. But this is, everyone you talk to, they've heard of the Arsenal. They have, some sort of tie to it, whether it's unfortunately, maybe through the cemetery or they have a family member that's worked there. This is an opportunity to actually come on and really see and showcase, what we have to offer. Talking with the Chamber of Commerce and some other folks, we like to jokingly say that, we're a Quad City too. We're kind of we're one of the OG Quad
Let's throw
cities,
you in there,
right? So we got a car wash, so we got cred, right? So it's just an opportunity really to just let our hair down a little bit, have some fun, and just really share this opportunity through the lens of Armed Forces Day and what the folks do day in and day out there for national defense. but just from a social, being a part of the community perspective, that's what we're really excited about with all the hard work that Victoria, our morale, welfare, and recreation team, everybody's put together. So, please come on out Friday and Saturday. Tons of opportunities. Bring the kids. It's a great family opportunity to have some fun.
And boy, oh boy, is it a party. I could hear it from my house last year.
There you go.
I mean that in the best way possible. Armed Forces Day on the Rock Island Arsenal. Again, it starts this Friday at 4 p.m. It continues all day Saturday until that fireworks show after dark. Visitors passes, again, are not required this weekend. Everybody 18 and older, though, must present a valid photo ID for access to the island. Victoria, Colonel Parker, thank you so much for coming on the show today and just telling us all about it.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it, yes. Coming up in our second half hour, pies, parades, and plenty of rhubarb. Aledo is rolling out the red and slightly tart carpet for its 33rd annual Rhubarb Festival. We are getting a preview of that. Plus, books, prizes, and a whole lot of summer fun. Details as the Rock Island Public Library is kicking off its summer reading program with a big party.
These tomorrow potential records, and we're also having an update on those storm chances, mainly northeast of the Quad Cities. I'll detail that coming up your first alert forecast in the next half hour of Quad Cities Live.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, it's been another nice afternoon, another taste of summer as temperatures have soared into the 80s for all of us across the TV6 viewing area. You can see the American flag whipping in the wind. Not too bad out there. We've got those winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, but those winds will really ramp up heading into tomorrow, and that's where we're going to have temperatures that are much warmer than today. In fact, we'll be getting close to or exceeding some record highs. Before the rest of this evening, there could be an isolated shower, maybe a pop-up storm east of the river. Otherwise, a pretty quiet evening. We'll have a mix of clouds and clear sky here heading through the overnight. Notice those temperatures, though. They don't fall too much. We're talking upper 60s to low 70s for the overnight low. That's all we can do here. And then a warm front passes through, surges through the area tomorrow. The wind will pick up and those temperatures skyrocket to the 90s, enough for records that are in jeopardy, especially in Moline. The first alert forecast is 93 degrees. The record 91. That was set back in 1941. Burlington, the record is 93, set back in 1944. We are forecasting 91 degrees, so kind of swap those two numbers in both locations. But regardless, whether or not it's a record, it is going to be one of the hottest days we've had so far this year, with our first taste of 90s across the region. Notice upper 80s to low 90s across the area. It's our northern hometowns that we're watching closely for the potential of maybe a couple of storms here tomorrow. As for tonight, that threat is basically in central Iowa, points off to the northwest. That's where we have that level 1 to level 2 risk of severe weather. And then as that storm system tracks east, so does the severe weather threat. And what really sticks out is this red area. That's the level 3 risk, an enhanced risk of severe weather. We're really targeting Wisconsin for the bulk of this. We could have up to baseball-sized hail. I should say they could have up to baseball-sized hail, as well as a few tornadoes. Here locally, we've got a level 1 to level 2 risk of severe weather, but I tell you what, that cap is really going to hold strong tomorrow as this storm system continues to track off to the east. So I'm not too concerned about severe weather locally, but it's something that we need to keep a close eye on as far as that cap, because it will be weaker here in our northern hometowns. So as for this evening, maybe a couple isolated showers here heading into the overnight hours. There could be a few rumbles of thunder here off to the northwest of the Quad Cities. A decaying area of storms will move to our north tomorrow. We'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine. Those winds really crank up those temperatures as that warm front surges through the area. And then watch between noon and 2 o'clock. We'll start to see a few showers and thunderstorms develop. I think Carroll and Whiteside County going to be, or I should say Carroll and Joe Davies County going to be the area that we need to watch closely for the development of a couple of thunderstorms. Those will quickly turn severe and get stronger as they move out of the TV6 viewing area. Behind that storm system Friday, another warm and breezy day, highs in the 80s, but back to the mid 70s, a little more comfortable here for the weekend with more rain possible next week.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Just ahead on Quad Cities Live, prepare now for one of the most popular local traditions in the QCA. The Aledo Rhubarb Fest is less than a month away now. We'll get a rundown of weekend events and details on how to enter the cook-off contest.
Quad Cities Live continues.
Well, mark your calendars for June 6th and 7th because it is Aledo's Rhubarb Fest, and it's celebrating 33 years this year.
Yes, roughly 3,600 people live in Aledo, but thousands more visit
big
each
deal.
year for this specific weekend. Chef Stephanie Godke is joining us now in
Here
the
I am.
QCL kitchen. Yay!
Welcome back. We always love having you
It's
here.
good to be here, and I am super excited about Rhubarb Festival because
Of course you are, yes.
if you haven't been to Aledo in a while, the downtown is unbelievably
Yeah.
Booming,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cool like Main Street, like mixing both like that kind of retro Main Street
Yes.
vibe with
Yeah.
the more modern stuff.
Yeah, and we have a new Aledo Opera House. The old historic Opera House has been totally redone. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're having Rhubarb Festival.
Yes.
You got to
Yes.
come for that.
Yeah.
Live music all the time. There's vendors, there's crafts, and there's a cook-off.
There's a cook-off, which we will get to.
Yes.
But first, I want you to talk to us a little bit about rhubarb itself, because
Yeah.
one thing that you wanted to talk to people about
Is the leaf.
Is
the
the
leaf
leaf.
is poisonous.
Yes.
So we do not eat the leaf.
Okay.
The leaf is one thing that I don't even bring it in the house because
okay.
somebody might
outside.
mistake it for lettuce, for
Sure.
salad, or kale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just take that and
Throw it
leave
in
it
the trash.
outside.
Okay.
And then
Or
you can
clean it-
dice
clean
this
it
up.
yeah.
And you can use it just like a vegetable.
Okay. Yeah.
People usually use it like a fruit in pie.
Okay.
But it is a vegetable. And I've made some savory dishes with it today.
You have, yeah.
Just because I want people to know that the cook-off, we have a category for everything. We have
variety.
We do. And if you've got children, we have the 15 and under group. That's the juniors.
Okay.
They don't
Okay.
have to compete. We have a professional group. So if you bake or cook professionally, you should consider opening it. We have all kinds of different categories. We have
Yeah.
pies and cakes and crumbles and crisps, and then beverages, which I brought us
I know.
a vodka here.
Well, yeah, I want to talk about the categories in relation to what you brought here
Yes.
today,
Okay.
because you have a really good, like, you have examples of all the stuff we can do.
Okay, so chili at the end. You can use rhubarb like you would use a tomato because it's
Okay.
got the same acidity.
Yeah.
And so anytime I'm making anything that could use diced tomatoes, you can use diced rhubarb.
Okay.
So that chili.
We can try it.
We can, and there's forks and
I
spoons.
love eating everything that you make. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then the next dish is a rhubarb coleslaw.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
you use rhubarb juice to make a dressing.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
I know the chili.
Thank
I've
you.
learned
I
that.
look
Thank
forward
gotta
to
try
this every
chili.
year.
It's always interesting to me, and that would be in the miscellaneous category. And you can bring that.
I know, Kyle's face. I know, it's amazing.
Well, I'll leave
so
it for you.
good.
Can have it for dinner after the show.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
And then the coleslaw is next. And next time I'm out, I think I'm going to bring you pulled pork with Rubik's sauce, and we'll put some coleslaw
Ooh, yeah.
on it.
Ruby
That
Q.
sounds-
And I know I made that up.
That's adorable.
We love it.
Okay, so this next
gonna
one
eat.
is rhubarb bread pudding.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
that
try
happens. That happens when you on Mother's Day you make a whole bunch of beautiful, soft, big yeast rolls,
Okay.
and nobody's doing carbs.
That's
so
me
then you make it
crunching.
into bread pudding because nobody in the family was doing carbs, whatever that. Anyway, so I
That
made.
tastes really good, that bread pudding. I'm not a huge
don't like
fan
bread
of
pudding?
bread pudding, but
Okay.
It's
but you know what? I'll give it a shot. That's I get the
Custardy.
tartness of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's custardy because I use cream and eggs.
Okay.
And so a lot of my recipes
not bad.
are going to be on the Wallace's.
Oh, wow, yeah.
On the Wallace's
Sorry.
website, a lot of recipes with you using rhubarb.
Yeah, because Chef Steph, she does occasionally like cooking classes and things at
Yeah.
Wallace's Garden Center, which
Right.
sign up for those because you'll learn something new for sure.
But
Talk with my
the
mouth full.
important thing here is this is a family favorite, a turnover. It is
Look
puff
at that.
pastry, so easy. It looks fancy.
Yeah,
Puff
it does.
pastry, a little rhubarb filling in it, and then you just glaze it with some rhubarb sugary frosting.
Okay.
And it's light, and it goes, and it can last for like, people say like, how do you keep it crispy?
Yeah.
You bake it thoroughly. Rhubarb.
She's giving away secrets here.
I am, but that's, you know what, there's no
Take
secrets in
advantage because
cookies.
they're so good.
Thank
Yeah.
you. There's no secrets in cooking, and everything's been done once. It's just, can you put a spin on it?
I mean competition secrets, right?
Okay, well,
Okay, so,
competition
yeah.
here is we got judges. We've got Jake Eastburn.
Oh, yes.
Yay, Jake. And we've got Kyle Dickens.
Yes.
familiar faces.
He did that
They're-
last year, right?
He did. A crowd favorite, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet.
Now, Jake was in Kuwait or someplace, so, you know.
He was busy. He was
Yeah.
busy.
So
Well,
anyway,
busy.
we missed Jake. But anyway, this year we're going to have that. The senior citizens make this wonderful rhubarb lemonade, which
Oh, is
we
that what
have
this
mixed
is?
with my company. I work for Mississippi River
Yes.
Distillery,
Yes.
so I brought the vodka. So you put that in a little bit of the senior citizens rhubarb lemonade. They sell that little bottles of that rhubarb lemonade at the Rhubarb Festival. excellent.
It's very good.
And it's very refreshing. So you're going to stir it with a little bit of a rhubarb stem there.
That's funny.
All right.
Okay. Now look at all the merch I brought. They have cute, cute shirts. This one says pie, cookies, cakes, all the way down. It's Rhubarb Fest. That has the Rhubarb Fest logo. We've got a hat.
Very good.
But
Very, very
you like it?
Yeah, I love
very
that.
good.
Morgan, look at these earrings.
Oh, rhubarb earrings.
You gotta have those.
Gotta.
So cute.
And then, of course, everybody needs the
Gotta have the
festival.
Stanley or
Gotta
the-
have the Stanley,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Whatever it is, the
And-
knockoff version, but still looks just
And
as good. as
you
the
know
real
what?
thing,
It's
right,
gonna
Morgan?
it's gonna make you hydrate during the Rhubarb Festival.
Yes.
There's all
Summertime.
kinds of people riding
Almost
around
summertime.
in gators. They'll give you rides, golf carts, and
Oh, we love
gators
that.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to see if we can bring Jake, because Jake's here in the studio with us right now. I want to see if we can bring Jake out here, and you can give him some tips about judging.
Yes.
Because I saw
Okay.
I saw the categories.
Hi.
Hi.
And that is
How are
a
you?
lot.
I'm fine.
This is really cute.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
It's a lot of food to try.
Well, it's
It
a lot,
is.
so we don't swallow.
Oh,
You don't.
there
We
you go.
don't swallow. Because
First
how's
tip.
that fair to the last person if you've eaten all day and then you get to
can't
the
even
last
look
thing
at
and you're
another
like, rhubarb. But no, you want to make sure that you got a fresh palate. So we use lots of water in between.
Okay.
And we don't swallow. So you taste
Okay.
it, you notice the texture, you cut it. with
I
a-
am so glad I'm getting this
Yes,
pre-training.
Jake was like-
I would have taken like little TV bites,
TV
but
bites,
even
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, it'll like if we have
It'll be too
have
much.
50
fill up
pies,
fast.
you're going to have
Oh,
50
my
bites of pie. That's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yes.
pie. But you know, like last year we had rhubarb jerky. There's a man who makes and sells rhubarb jerky. Wonderful. The thing about that is you get it in your mouth. It's so good you want to swallow it.
Yeah.
But you think, okay, I got to move on to the next thing.
You got a lot of categories coming
Yeah,
up.
we've got beverages, we've got miscellaneous.
Oh my
if you make it
gosh.
with rhubarb, we'll judge it, right?
Absolutely.
We're not normally judgy people, but that day it's our
We're
job.
judgy people on
I
that.
have to like dust off my culinary skills with the military.
Yeah.
and,
love it.
It's
And that's-
amazing how
yeah.
much you can do with rhubarb.
It
how much
is.
You can cook with it.
You
Wow.
you really have to. It's very versatile.
Yeah.
And you can use it, like I said, like a vegetable or like a fruit.
There you go.
Okay, well, we're obviously going to have you back on
Yes.
before the actual festival. Again, here's the information. Rhubarb Fest, June 6th and 7th in downtown Aledo. For a rundown of all the weekend events or cook-off guidelines, you want to start planning now. Visit the website at the
Follow
bottom
the
of your
rules.
screen, AledoRhubarbFest.com. Chef Steph, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
to
thank you,
Jake
Chef
for
Steph.
coming
Well,
on
thanks for
some
having
tips.
me.
Yes,
And we'll
of
see
course.
you at the festival.
We'll
Yeah,
see you at the
soon.
festival, yes.
All right, well, still ahead. Whether you're a bookworm or you're just looking to beat summer boredom, the Rock Island Public Library has a challenge for you. We'll tell you one way you can kick off your summer reading adventure next.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
The school year is wrapping up. Summer isn't far away now. While it's time for kids to take a much needed break, we don't want them to lose all the progress that they made this past year.
Yeah, and that's where the Rock Island Public Library comes in, providing an opportunity to level up with a free reading challenge and events for all ages this summer. So here to talk about everything happening at the library this summer is Lisa Lockhart. Lisa, welcome back to the show. We always appreciate you coming on.
Yes.
Oh, thanks for having us again.
Yes, of course. So we're talking about the Level Up Summer Reading Program, and I'll pop the hat on. 'cause
Leveling
it
up
says-
with a bucket hat.
Yes, there we go. We got the bucket hat
It
on.
looks good on you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I don't rock hats too often, but you know, you do it for live TV,
looks
right?
good,
Entertainment, yeah. All right, so talk about the Level Up Reading Challenge, because we kind of talked about this theme with another local library yesterday, and you all kind of, you're part of an organization to get these themes, but you kind of make it your own to make it fun for these kids.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's for kids, teens, and adults. It's an all-ages reading
Yeah, that's
challenge.
great.
Runs June 1st to July 31st, and anyone in the area can participate in our summer reading challenge. You don't have to live in Rock Island.
No.
Or,
I love that.
And we regularly have families who will do 2 or 3 summer reading challenges across the Quad Cities. And you know, it's just a way to keep, you said the kids interested in reading
Sure.
over the summer and keep those skills sharp. But by making it an all ages challenge, you know, there's that important modeling activity that really, when they see their parents, then they see their siblings reading, that really sends a message home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why we encourage the whole family to get involved.
You make it fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
I love that. They set a good example for the kiddos that you really, really want to continue reading throughout the summer. So talk about how library challenges specifically encourage and motivate continued reading throughout the summer. You guys do a lot to do that.
Yeah. Well, you it goes with the theme of level up at your library, but we make a game out of it. And so we have reading badges and activity badges, and you're rewarded along the way for making small progress goals. For example, 30 minutes of reading, 60 minutes of reading, 120 minutes of reading.
Okay.
It all adds up cumulatively. Yeah. And we have prizes at all age levels. So there's a prize when you register, there's a halfway prize when you achieve 5 badges, and there's a completion badge when you reach 10 badges. But you can keep going and earn all 20 if you like.
Keep leveling up.
You keep leveling up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Is this a prize? Is this hat a prize?
No, but that's one of the things you might see libraries wearing.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. I like it.
And so we have for the kids, they can pick up a bookmark and a temporary tattoo when they register.
That's fun.
We have these little shoe charms, or there's a bracelet that it can go on.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's a very popular thing with the kids.
Crocs.
Yeah. Flying disc, all sorts of different, again, just small incentives to keep them interested in the program and keep them reading.
Yeah, keep them engaged.
Yeah, and then for the adults, this is our prizes for adults.
We always
that's
need
a great prize.
bag.
We love a tote.
Yes, we do.
Right?
So I'm curious, how are we keeping track of leveling up and all these minutes that we're reading?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways. We have this program called Beanstack, and you can do the program online, or you can use an app. And it's almost like kind of a Fitbit for reading, because it'll keep track of your minutes and tell you when you've won a prize and say, hey, you haven't read today. Why don't you read today?
Yeah.
But if you are of a traditionalist mindset and you don't want to do the app, there's a paper log. And either way, you just kind of keep going, just keep writing down your minutes. And we have activity badges that people can do for, like, checking out a board game, or checking out a video game, or attending a library program.
Yeah.
And when you attend our free summer reading kickoff, there's a badge for that.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to really
yeah.
get to, is this summer reading kickoff party, which sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's coming up on Thursday, May 29th in the evening, so 4 to 6:30 p.m., so not too late. It's at the Botanical Center.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, they are just a great partner. We've been working with them over the past 4 or 5 years. They open up their entire grounds, including the children's garden splash area. And they have the storybook gardens. We have 15 to 18 community partners who join us, and people can walk around and do activities with them. For example, we'll have the canine assistants reading dogs.
We love them.
Yes. Yeah, WKPT, the Figgy, and people can kind of go around to these booths and do different activities. The library will have a bubble station, like super big.
Oh yeah.
Super big
the
bubbles.
Kids love that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And then while you're there, you can sign up for summer reading
Yes.
and pick up your first registration prize.
Oh, that's perfect.
Gosh, and beyond this summer kickoff, I mean, you have dozens of events going on this summer. So if you want more details on the summer kickoff party that we were talking about, or any of the activities and the events coming up this summer that we really didn't have a chance to talk about today because there's so much going on.
There's so many.
You can head to the website, rockislandlibrary.org. There's always something going on, and if you haven't gotten a membership, get one now. And yeah, let's everyone participate in that summer reading program. Lisa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for watching.
You're rocking that hat better than I did. I will say that. Thanks for watching your Local 4. Local News at 4 is coming up next. Did it again, man.